He may now look like Mr. Respectable, but our next guest was once a rock and roll outlaw. Yes, here to discuss his latest project, among many other matters. Please welcome Australia's premier rock and roll journalist, Clinton Walker, to the Big Schmooze. Thank you very much, mate. You're looking resplendent, Clinton, in your country and western pizzazz there.
I'm maintaining the theme.
Maintaining the theme?
Yeah.
The country and western?
Country, yeah. I'm not Aboriginal, but yeah.
Okay, now you've written a book about Aboriginal country music.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to that any moment, but I want to ask, first of all, you have written for Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
You've written for Playboy.
Yeah.
You've written for Inside Sport.
Yeah.
You've written books. Which, out of all your work, as a writer thus far, has captured your attention the most?
Very Country was a fabulous project to do, but I'd say if I went back, it was the Bon Scott biography to get inside the life of a guy that I think everybody would recognise. You know,
now, the legendary original man of AC/DC himself, the lead singer. Your biography of him is superb. Me and many of my mates have read it. Now, obviously, you've written it after he passed on.
Yeah.
And who did you speak to get the intricate information?
Everybody. I mean, really, except the band. The band weren't real keen on. They're a pretty tight-knit sort of bunch, and so they weren't really keen on me coming in and maybe rustling up some old linen.
Oh, were you slagging him off or singing his praises? I reckon you were singing his praises.
Absolutely, and that's why I thought it was strange. I mean, the powers that be didn't thought that maybe I was malicious or something, but not at all.
Malicious?
I mean, we all idolise Bon Scott.
We do, mate. He lived a hard life.
Jailbreak should be our national anthem. We were a convict colony. And what we've got to do is break out of that jail.
Imagine the kids at assembly on Monday morning at school for the national anthem. With a bullet in his back. Dun, dun.
It's the national anthem.
There you go. Now, aside from Bon Scott, who you didn't meet in person...
No, I didn't meet Bon.
Out of the rock and rollers you have met in person, who is the greatest animal of all?
I met Iggy Pop in front of the iguana cage at the Melbourne Zoo, actually.
Yeah.
He was pretty sedate.
How did you tell the difference between him and the people on the other side of the cage?
Well, that was it. He's a sinewy little guy, isn't he? You know.
I've not seen him.
He is. He's only, you know, like a lot of rock and... Bon Scott.
Yeah.
James Brown.
Yeah.
Iggy Pop. They're all about so tall.
Are they?
Yeah. And I think that's a bit of their drive. You know?
Iggy Pop, doesn't he wear see-through plastic slacks that are really tight?
That sort of stuff, yeah.
And he's, what, over 50?
He is now.
That's not right. You wouldn't want to eat before seeing one of his shows.
I don't know how he's managed to... Hey, that was... You know, you meet your heroes, and, you know, I guess Lou Reed was a hero of mine, but, like, talk about a wet sort of blanket.
He let you down. I was speaking to Lou Reed, and he said he wanted to meet Clinton Walker, and... You know.
He fired me. I was the publicist on a tour that he did, and I managed to leak some information that Lou was a bit of a wet blanket, and that was found out, and I got my paycheck for $200 and I was gone.
You're lucky he didn't fire at you. That's the sort of behaviour you came up with. Now, music has been your bread and butter.
Yeah, really.
For many years now, but what ordinary jobs did you have leading up to this position?
I started in an advertising agency of all things, and I could think back and think, well, I could have that Porsche be running around now, but I was a cook. Mainly, that's what I mainly did. I cooked in pubs.
Yeah? What, the cut lunches, the counter lunches?
The counter lunches. I used to work in a hotel called the Mansions in King's Cross in Sydney, which is pretty notorious. And
it's a high-class area, isn't it?
Yeah, well, the Mansions was the high class of the high class. Okay. We used to get the cops, basically, and I reckon anybody that orders a well-done steak deserves a really well-done steak, you know.
Yeah.
But it was
especially if they're cops.
Absolutely.
You spit on it and your mates go, well done.
All that, yeah. I used to be able to take home meat, you see, because meat's like a file, you know, it's like paper. It's only so thin, so I would order the meat and slice it up and put it in my briefcase and go home with it. That's what I used to live on in those days.
A file of meat?
That's right.
Go and get me a steak in the files.
You slice it off thinly and you place it in that bracket of the briefcase and a few more, take them home.
Do you file the bits of meat in alphabetical order? Porterhouse under P.
That's right, yeah.
Now, you've written this superb book, Buried Country. There it is right there.
Show the cover.
It's about Aboriginal country music and Aboriginal country musicians. Now, can I just first of all show this fella on the back? The Aboriginal Elvis, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together. Look at him go.
Roger Knox.
Roger Knox. Look at him go. Cool. What an outfit.
That was shortly before Roger went down in not one, but 2 plane crashes in one day and lived to tell the tale. 2 plane crashes in one day.
He should have had a word to Buddy Holly, mate.
Exactly.
Now, at what point did you realise that this was going to turn into a documentary as well as a book?
Simple answer to that is when the money ran out.
Right.
And I was given some funding to go off and research that book, and Alice Springs is a lot further away from Sydney than Newcastle or Tamworth, and didn't have so. But it was a richness of the subject matter. I realised this could make a film, and it was pretty easy to get rolling as a film from that point.
We've got some footage of the film, and there's some superb orchestral work that we're about to see this second.
Aboriginal people also played the gum leaf. Whitefellas regarded it as a sideshow novelty, but the gum leaf has been part of our musical tradition for generations.
We didn't play the didgeridoo, we played the gum leaf of the tree. And it was playing the gum leaf in different harmonies and unison.
The gum leaf concerto right there. Now, I've got to say, that is very funny, but it's also very fascinating. I would pay to watch that for humorous benefit and for serious musical taste.
I don't think it really exists much anymore. But
see, that little guy on Skippy at the start was going solo, wasn't he? Now, yeah, it's turned, like I say, into a documentary from the book, and there's various troublemakers mentioned in the book, but you were a troublemaker yourself. You mentioned Tamworth before. Were you in a hillbilly band?
Don't start on
because most journos, most music journos apparently are wannabe musos.
Yeah, I know. We formed a band, and I like to think that we were kind of ahead of our time. Hillbilly grunge is what the label I put on.
Hillbilly grunge? Hillbilly
grunge, yeah, and it was the late 1980s, and we went up to Tamworth. Mind you, in those days I was kind of stick thin. There was a lot of drugs I was taking, and it's hot in Tamworth in January, and can you imagine me in leather pants and kind of not much else?
I'd rather not, if you don't mind.
Yeah, well, it was...
what was the hillbilly grunge band called?
We were called the Killer Sheep, and the famous comment, came out of a pub door as we kind of sashayed by. They're not cowboys, they're poofters.
Poofters? Just because you're hillbilly grunges?
Leather pants.
Please, mate, I've asked you before. Now, I just want to have a quick look at some footage of you introducing a TV program like I'm doing now. We've got a second here of you in action.
So will you please welcome to Studio 22 with his new band, Henry Rollins.
Okay, now that looks normal, fair enough. But at the end, right, Hank, right, he gets his shirt off as usual, and you get caught up in the vibe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you remember this, but let's take a look at what Clinton Walker does right now.
Henry Rollins, the Rollins Band. That's all for Studio 22 this week. We'll see you next Thursday.
Now, there he is, look at that. Hang on, though. Hang on. Hold your applause, right? Now, you took your shirt off in a public place.
I don't remember.
Those drugs again.
Yeah.
Hang on, you took your shirt off in a public place whilst cameras were filming you.
Yeah.
So, basically, I want to show what took place in slow motion. Now, look at Hank's physical body, the handshake, not too vigorous, but look what happens to yours. There's the shake. Now, look at those, look at them go. What a lovely wobble backwash there, please. Clinton Walker. Here we go. Now, they say that rock music writers, right, basically have been attacked by most of the people they speak about, that they review. How would you review yourself as a fella if you had to write?
Cruel but fair.
Cruel but fair?
Yeah.
And from what you know of me, how would you review myself?
I have to say, absolutely swimming.
Thank you very much. Swimming. That's sitting on the fence if ever I saw it. Now, basically, you can handle all sorts of rock and roll action. Can you handle the Big Schmooze Wheelo questions? Do you reckon?
Oh, look, you get me on trivia like that. Yeah.
It's like the Fast Money Sale of the Century.
Yeah,
Please welcome the Wheelo questions here to the Big Schmooze. This is Jared. This is cousin Jared right here who brings out the Wheelo questions. Look at him go, hang on. Look out. There's some wobbling breasts if ever you've set eyes on them. You could have plucked a couple of those. No. So, Wheelo questions. I'm going to ask you fast. I want answers quick. I want the first thing that comes to your mind. Who is your favourite member of Bardot?
I like the girl in the cowboy hat.
The girl in the cowboy hat. That's a good answer. 10. Now I'm going to go to question 10. Good work, Jared. What is your favourite ever band?
Oh, gee, I don't know. The Stooges.
The Stooges. You stooging me? Go again, Jared. 15. Which band do you hate the most, Clinton?
Bardot.
22. Are drummers really the thickest members of any band?
Not since they've been replaced by machines.
Machines. One more question here. Look out, Jared's starting to do some stick. Have you ever been guilty? What? Have you ever been guilty of cruelty to a turntable?
Yeah, I have.
In what way?
I've probably played Peter Frampton records on them.
Please.
Yeah.
Weren't you a DJ at some point?
I was.
Excellent.
There are grabs in Peter Frampton that can be used.
Peter
You know
Frampton-
the wah thing?
No, but if you do it again, I'll listen. Peter Frampton comes alive, and so does Clinton Walker here on the Big Schmooze. Please put your hands together for Clinton Walker. Get out there. Look out for Buried Country, about Aboriginal country music. You going to stick around for a second?
For sure.
Jared? Lovely, because listen to the news. Listen to the news this week from Victoria that an undercover squad, this is a fact, an undercover cod, right? An undercover squad made up of children is going to be enlisted to help catch traders selling cigarettes illegally to underage smokers. Now, continuing the tradition of breaking the stories that really matter, we at the Big Schmooze were on the scene for one of these squad's first operations.
Yeah, right. Just grab the 20, thanks, mate.
$6, thanks.
This is a bus, buddy. Stick them out. Can't get a fry for this, mate. Out. Splits.
There it is. The smoking squad in action. Toolman, what a fella. Now, Dave, welcome back.
Hey, a lot of flab.
Do you know...
Wait till I get my shirt off. Hello.
Just don't shake hands with Hank Rollins. Now, if there's a camera about, do you two know each other?
Yeah, well, we do now.
You go way back and you're sharing the creamy soda.
Celebrity Weight Watchers.
What do you think of the What do you think of the show
Me
so far?
mainly, not you. Sorry.
What do you think of the show so far?
That's been good. It's been
Yeah?
good. Clinton, very good. Interesting. Very good.
Interesting and good. That's not really what I want to hear, mate.
Oh, okay. I've got one suggestion.
You've always got a suggestion, but go on, what?
You know what this show really needs?
No, but you tell me, what does this show...
We need a bit of whimsy, a bit of quirkiness, you know what I mean? A bit of that homespun sort
Definitely.
of humour. Yeah.
Local eccentrics?
Yeah, some colourful characters. Like, you ever seen Sea Change?
Sea Change, yeah.
You seen the quirk on that?
Yeah, Sea Change. and
Something
also
in the air?
Something in the air. Quirky characters.
Yeah, so we need something kind of, you know, something whimsical, like perhaps a mouth organ band.
A mouth organ. A
Yeah.
slightly left-of-centre instrument.
Yes, and it's a very old mouth organ band. They've been around since for 67 years.
67 years.
And they are looking for recruits too, younger members, if you're interested. So I'd like to present to you tonight, all the way from Yarraville, the Yarraville Mouth Organ Band. Here they go.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, right. Good. Radio.
Well done, chaps.
Right, thank you. Right, thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Right, thank you. Yeah, good on.
We've got to do another bit at the end, remember?
Radio, okay.
Fantastic. go